Hello and welcome back to the 6th episode of WCATChats. I'm Alex Carr, joined alongside by Nitin Raju and Paul Maruth, and we have a great episode for you today.
Yeah. So before we go into the special interviews today, we're going to kind of go around the school a little bit, talk about some of the events that happened in the past couple of weeks. Just to start off, there was the Halloween parade from the lower schoolers, but due to inclement weather, it had to get moved inside. But if you want to see some interviews with some special kids and some looks, kind of their cute costumes, head over to the WCAT YouTube channel, and you can see more there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My brother actually got to be one of the interviewers. Got to ask some fun questions, be around the lower school again. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, also happening yesterday and today is Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos is an opportunity to remember and celebrate the lives of departed loved ones. It's celebrated the most in Mexico and a bit in Central America. And, you know, people have altars, and it's just to honor your loved ones that are no longer with us.
Yeah. Also, Nitin talked about it a little bit earlier. We are going to have an interview with Joseph Jaco and Palmer Wallstead about the cross-country season, and I've heard a little rumor that both teams are incredible. So let's toss it on over to that interview right now. All right, we're here with Joseph and Palmer, and you guys want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Palmer.
I'm Joseph.
Now, Palmer, you're one of the captains for the girls cross-country team and recently committed to college. You want to give a little story about that?
Yeah, I just committed to Wake Forest. I'm really excited. I really love the school.
Yeah, and Joseph, you guys just had a great meet, I heard, and you also recently broke a school record.
Yeah, I did. I broke the school record. Felt great, and everything's going great.
Did you talk to Matthew Fernando after breaking his record?
I did. He was shocked. I was shocked too. When I did it, I didn't believe it. But he mentored me and he helped me get to where I am. So yeah.
So kind of going towards both of you, if you could each kind of answer this question. So what has been your favorite part of this year, maybe even the past couple of years?
I think for me, like the team, like the cross-country team really makes it. And we run with, there's just so many people and everyone's like so kind and like it's just a really great environment. And I've made so many close friends.
For me, I'd say, similar thing, the team. And especially seeing all the younger guys on the team just fall in love with the sport. Because I know like with cross-country, a lot of kids, they're forced to do it and they just like hate it at first. But for a lot of them, the moment that they really get to see how great they can be and how fast they can be, it's just amazing to see that.
Going back to what you said earlier, you said that the team had a really strong connection. How are you guys able to form that? Like, what do you guys do as a team to get everyone to be so bonded?
I know for girls cross country, like we call ourselves the sisterhood. And so there's just a lot of stuff we do, like we have sister groups, and there's just a lot of like team bonding activities that we do like as a team and within our sister groups that really form like great connections.
You want to tell us a little bit more about those sister groups for people who don't know about it?
Yes. So it's like all grade levels. It's kind of random. You can request people, but it's just a great way because the team is so big to just like get really close to a lot of girls who you wouldn't normally be close with.
Yeah, I see a ton of girls actually on the cross-country team. How many are there? Like 100?
I think it's a little bit over 100. Jeez. It's a lot.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. What about you?
So I think there are maybe like 40 guys on the team. We start the season like August 1st, the beginning of August. And then we train every day except Sundays together. And I think there's something about like running and, putting it all out there with other people, with someone else that like suffering through that, it really forges a bond that is really strong. And
I heard Tribble say that the teams you guys have are actually probably one of the best that he's ever coached. What do you have to say about the coaching that you guys have had at Westminster?
Tribble, he's a great coach. He brings the best out of people. He's encouraging. He's not like soft on people. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, but he's really encouraging, and he brings the team together, and he makes everyone at their best. And yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, so you speak about Tribble. Do you have any favorite memory of him coaching you over the past 3 years?
Oh boy. There's this my freshman year. It was the week before state, and we had this one workout, and it was really long. And Tribble's kind of known to do this sometimes, but we'll have a workout, and he'll throw in a surprise fast mile, and like that's brutal alone. He did that in the middle of this workout. It was already terrible, and then at the end of the workout, he was like, you know what? We're gonna have another one, and this is what he said: expect the unexpected, because none of us expected it. It was a great practice looking back on it, but
Yeah, the coaching makes you guys, like, I don't know, it just looks, it's incredible how he can make all of you guys work together. Why do you think Westminster is so dominant with cross country? I mean, like, just besides the coaching.
I mean, the coaching is a big part of it, but I also think just like the coaches and the girls, at least on the sisterhood, and I know like track too, like I do track with Tribble. But like I think just a really great environment has been made, and everyone's so supportive of each other, and like even if there's competition, like it's like friendly competition, and everyone supports each other no matter what. And I think that that's a big reason why we're so successful.
So going on to like race day, I know everyone kind of had like their superstitions, but do you in particular have a pre-race routine that you kind of like to go to?
yeah. So at home I have oatmeal, but it's I have these packets of oatmeal. So I'll have one packet of oatmeal, a banana, and then here's something that's special. So I drink beet juice 2 to 3 hours before my race. There's a bunch of scientific studies done on it. It improves aerobic efficiency, meaning that for distance races, I'm able to run faster.
Yeah. What put you on to beet juice?
There's this. He was my captain last year. This guy Noah Chin. There's like one day he came to practice. This thing of beet juice, like just this big. He was just drinking it, and everyone was so confused. Like why is he drinking this? And then he explained it. I did my own research, and yeah.
Where do you buy beet juice? Is this just in Publix, or do you have to go to some? Oh, it
Publix.
is. And what does it taste like? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Beets? I hate
It
beets.
is the worst thing ever. It is so. I have a little brother, Jacob.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months ago, I tried to get him to try it. Like he drank it and immediately just spit it out in the sea. It is so bad.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like something my mom would make me drink. She's like this big kombucha fan, so all that stuff makes me uncomfortable. I hate it. What do you got to say about the future for cross country? I mean, I know you guys are doing great this year, but what about in the next couple of years?
I mean, I won't be here because I'm a senior, but I mean, I think I've come to know so many great girls from the team who are just like amazing people, and I know that like they'll do good things for the team. I mean, both like talent-wise, but also just like personality-wise, they're so amazing.
It looks like a good future, I think, for the boys team at least. I can say that. I try to do my best to ensure that their future, as the Westminster team, like that they will be the best that they can be. And because a lot of times I'll try to teach a bunch of the younger runners how to be their best. I try to teach them how I got to where I am, so that they can get there and surpass me in the future. Too.
So, now you speak of younger runners. Both of y'all this year have been able to run with your younger siblings. I'm sure ahead of them, but what has that been like being on the same team with them?
It's been so much fun. I love running with my sister, and it's been so fun just like watching her progress and like develop as a runner. And I'm really excited to see I'll have track season with her too, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been a lot of fun. I ran with my older brother too, when I was a freshman and sophomore year, and my younger brother Jacob. Man, I'm really proud of how he's doing. I've tried to help him to get where he is, and he's just surpassed my expectations. he's had an incredible season.
I know when we make these podcasts every week, we always kind of go over the sports, and it's always both of you and your brother always towards the top of the leaderboard. I know it's probably cool to see, but do you think he'll surpass you?
You know, maybe when he's a junior, I kind of expect him to be beating my junior times, and I kind of expect him to be breaking my records. And honestly, I don't feel bad about that because that's kind of what I want for him. I want to help him get there because I think even if I can only make myself as good as I can be, but I have to make mistakes to get there, and I can help him avoid all those mistakes and do everything right. And so I do.
And Palmer, you said that there's some good young runners on your team. Who do you think is going to step up in like the coming years and become one of those leaders?
Oh, there's a lot of people. I'm thinking like state team right now. Like Lucy Johnson, she's a really good runner. This is her first year in cross country too, and she's killing it. Lily Nastopoulos, Madison Townsend, I'm trying to think, Frazier, Brain Twain, Ava Ramsey, Sylvia Beaver. There's a lot of girls who I didn't even name who I think can really do good things.
And you just brought up states, but what are your guys' goal for states? I think it's coming up, right? Coming up soon?
It's this Saturday.
Yeah. What are you guys looking to do?
I'm trying to go into it with no expectations. Last year at state I had a season PR, so I don't know if I can do that, but I just want to try and run a course PR because it'll be my last time running that course, and we've run it a lot over the years. And just see what I can do and try not to hold back because it'll be my last cross country race of high school.
That's pretty cool. I think it'll be kind of weird, like just going in there. What's going to be your mindset? Just going in there, just no expectations, just hoping to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph, what are you looking to do with the states? I think.
Yeah. I have a cold right now, so I got to get over this.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of why my voice is like this. But I'm gonna do my job as part of the team. We're gonna win the state championships as a team, and then unfortunately, I'm going against the fastest guy individually in the state. Yeah. And I'm just gonna stay with. I'm just gonna see what I can do. I don't think anyone's chasing me. I'm the one that's chasing him. He's just trying to run away from me, so I got to take advantage of that. But yeah.
So you said you were kind of chasing him, but do you have any runners you chase, like maybe you look up to, that you've kind of seen professionally?
Yeah, I would say one guy, Eliud Kipchoge, marathon world record holder, and then he also broke 2 in the marathon, but it's not technically 2 hours in the marathon. It's not officially a world record, but it is very impressive. He's a very humble guy. He exemplifies discipline to the highest level, I think, extremely well. And yeah, I look up to him a lot.
Yeah, I think for me, no one professional, but the past couple of years I got to run with Kate Stevens and Janie Cooper. And I ran with them for a long time, track and cross country, and they really taught me so much. And I miss them a lot, but I really look up to them. And they're both running in college now too, so I go to them for advice, even now.
Now that you're going into college, this will be one of your final races. What are you looking forward to? Just going to that next level.
I'm excited to push myself. In college, see what I can do. I'm really excited about the program at Wake Forest. I think it's really going to push me. And I don't know. Obviously, I'm excited for college.
Do you have any advice going through that college recruitment process? Because I know there's a ton of questions out there surrounding that topic.
Mm-hmm. For me, my recruiting process, I guess, started a year ago. And so it's exciting, but it's also a little bit stressful. I don't know about any advice in particular, but I don't know. It's a very exciting time though.
Yeah, I know. One of my brother's actually going through that right now, and I know it's a lot of work keeping through that.
So going over to kind of state as like a thing for Joseph. I know you didn't answer this question, but do you have any of like the younger runners that you think would make like a big step in state?
Let me think. I think my younger brother. I mean, he performs well under pressure. I think he's gonna do really well at state. And I'm really excited to see what happens because I think it's a great moment to shine and to really run well and give it your all out there. But yeah.
And so I've heard of this thing called runner's high. Have either of you experienced this, or can you tell me a little bit about that?
So, yes, it exists. It's hard. It's hard to get there. I will say. For me, it normally happens either if I'm doing a long run or I'm maybe running like 12 miles or something, and it'll be like the end of it. I'll just feel really good, or it'll be, I don't know, maybe after a really good workout or after a race. Just because I know I worked really hard and I got really good results.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it comes like at the end, like once I finish running, especially like Joseph was saying, like after races, when you know you worked really hard or like hard workouts, and you're like proud of how you did.
Does your team have any like special things you guys do after a race? Like, do you guys go out for dinner or anything?
Oh yeah. So after races, we always go to McDonald's. We always go to McDonald's.
What's the order?
For me, oh gosh, okay. Typically after a race, I don't actually get much. My stomach feels terrible after races.
Probably that beet juice.
It's probably the beet juice. Yeah.
It probably is. It's probably the beet juice. I'll just get 10 chicken nuggets.
Ranch? You get?
Dude, I can't. No, I don't eat any sauce because like my stomach feels so bad. I can't do anything. It has to be this plain thing.
I can't down those nuggets without ranch, or else they just don't go down. Palmer, do you guys do anything?
Not really. Like we don't have any set tradition, but I mean, everyone usually rides the bus back, so that's always a lot of fun. Just being with everyone, and everyone's in a good mood, and just like happy to be done with the race.
Also, one of your races this year, you guys had a live DJ and like a party.
Oh.
Do you guys want to tell some stories about that one?
I mean, that's always a fun one because there's the DJ, but it's also at night. So, I mean, at least for the girls, we got glow sticks and like we ran with them on our uniform. But it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's the only night race we have. It's so fun. I love that race.
I can't entirely remember the name of it. It's like
Wingfoot.
Wingfoot.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Fleetfoot or Coach something. Coach. So.
Oh no, that's
Thank
another
Coach Wood. Yeah.
That's a different.
Well, at least I had a couple names right. All right. If you guys had advice for a younger runner or just a younger athlete in general, like going into their high school career, what would you have to say?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think I'd say. Just like. Well, okay. I wrote for region breakfast for cross country. We like wrote little speeches, and I mean for the sisterhood specifically, 2 pieces of advice I had were just to like not take the time for granted, and also just like really like don't take the relationships you build for like granted, and just like really try to build those relationships because they're so special. And like I think it's special in the sisterhood particularly just because it's just like a great environment and a great team.
Yeah. And what about the boys?
I mean, I would say I kind of noticed like everyone on the team, they fall in love with the sport. There's never a problem of like not putting in enough effort during practice, really. So I would say like kind of once you get to the point at which most people will give it their all or close to their all. In order to really be your best, you have to learn the sport. Just learn every bit of it. Because, I mean, I know this phrase is thrown around a lot, but like, you know, don't work harder, work smarter. And that's really some of the like best advice that I could give.
Well, we thank you guys so much for coming on. I know we had a great time. We hope you guys enjoyed, and wish you guys the best of luck in your upcoming seasons, especially state this weekend.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joseph and Palmer, for coming on. That was a great interview. Really appreciate it. Wish the girls and the guys best of luck in their upcoming season. Now let's turn the page, go over to some football. Alex, you want to take it away?
The Wildcats beat Southwest DeKalb 27-21 in a win that some might say wasn't really a good one. We should have beaten them by so much more. I mean, it was senior night. Joko had a great game, 200 passing yards, something above that, 3 passing touchdowns. Henry Chartrand had 2 receiving, and Wade Penn, he also had a screen pass that he took to the house, and also the defense was incredible. 3 fourth-down stops. That made just a massive difference in that game. And also not to mention Josh Brockman, who hit 2 bomb field goals, 1 from 42 yards. I mean, the team is looking great going forward into this weekend where we face off against a Miller Grove, actually Thursday, which is going to be at 7 o'clock. So make sure to tune into that. But this week is very important. If we win by a margin of 13 points, we will be able to get a better seeding in these playoffs that are be coming up soon. So, I mean, it's looking great. Westminster's actually in first place right now. We have a record of 3-1, which is the same as Holy Innocents.
In region play.
Yeah, in the region play. But since we beat Holy Innocents, we are ranked number 1 overall. So everything's looking great for the Wildcats. Let's just make sure we can keep this offensive production going. I mean, John Collier and Henry Chartrand, that connection is just forming and it's going so well. Wade Penn, another incredible running back. So it's all looking great from here. The defense, as always, has been incredible. Those fourth-down stops were incredible. I mean, it was that game. We should have won by way more, but still, good win, and we can build off of it.
And it was a special game too because Southwest DeKalb, they don't have a punt team. They didn't punt at all, no matter where the ball was. So just having those fourth down stops, like Alex said, was key to coming out with that win. And then a quick little reminder: game is at Thursday at Miller Grove, 7 o'clock, Hawaiian theme. But if you can't make it in, just remember to tune in on NFHS. And you can see all of us doing our little halftime and pregame routines. So remember to tune into that. So now on over to this pool. Palmer, swimming. You got it?
Yeah, so last Friday, right before this football game, boys won 151 to 124 over Collins Hill. That was who it was. And boys were carried by junior Andrew Sue, but also Tommy LaRisha swam his entire 500 without goggles after they fell off on the start. And girls won 174 to 121. Great swimming by Katie Christopherson, Sadie Clayton, Sarah Ketron, and Ansley Segroso. Tomorrow, actually, on Thursday, we have meet at home versus Baylor. It'll probably be our hardest dual meet of the year. We barely lost to them last year. So come out and cheer on the Cats.
Now, Palmer, I know that you're also a swimmer yourself, so how'd it go for you, and how's your season looking?
It went pretty well. I dropped some time like my 2 free and stuff, but overall it was just a great team win. Lots of great leadership by the upperclassmen. I think they did a great job getting the freshmen used to the rhyme and routine of a high school meet, and that was just really good to see.
Yeah, that swimming team is so dominant. I mean, there's always like these consistent sports at Westminster that you know are going to win. Swimming, definitely one of them. Also, another one is cross country, who has the state meet this Saturday.
Which we talked with Joseph Jaco, apologies, and Palmer Wallstead a little bit about. So just, if you kind of missed that, just rewind a little bit and you can hear more about that. And then also about swimming, we interviewed Coach Locker, who's the head swimming coach. Who also, if you want to hear a little bit about soccer, which she also coaches, go back to the last episode. And now over to the basketball.
Yeah, the winter sports are starting up. The tryouts are happening. I actually just received an email about the baseball season. I know you did too. So it's really exciting to see that start to happen again. Basketball, their first game is going to be November 18th, which will be a home game versus Galloway. Make sure to show up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we already know some people that are going to be on the teams. Who do you think is going to be like the biggest impact player?
Well, I know that we have 3 seniors on varsity this year. We have Story Abernathy, Tyler Harris, and Ezekiel Harp. So those are the senior leadership. They're all pretty good. They're all really good basketball players. So I think that'll be fun. And the rosters are still being finalized as tryouts just concluded last week. But I think it's going to be a fun group.
Yeah, I heard they actually took 2 freshmen, and it's still getting changed, but 2 freshmen so far is great for the team, getting that connection between the seniors, 6 juniors, 2 sophomores that we know of. So just being able to mesh it all together is great for the future. We can get some leadership growing and culturing them, make sure they know what is happening. All right, the wrestling team also, I've been told that they are working very hard and they get these grueling practices. If you go on Turner Gym, you'll see them do bear crawls up and down the stadium and around the inside track. It looks painful.
Led by Coach LB Joel.
Yeah, Coach Joel does a great job getting them into shape and getting them match ready. I used to be a wrestler, and that sport is hard. That sport is just, it takes a different breed to do well, but that wrestling team is really good. So
You were not that breed, I'm assuming?
I was not. I was afraid to get injured. Actually, I did. I got this mean concussion when I was wrestling in 7th grade. It was an illegal move by a different opponent, and he did a thing called a full Nelson. So it got grab of my head and just slammed it. So that was not good.
Yeah. So I was talking to some other kids in our grade that were wrestlers, and they were talking about the senior leadership. They lost a lot of it. A lot of seniors had graduated, but they have some good wrestlers like Robert Krim and Cooper Thomas who are going to be a good sense of leadership on the team. And the team is actually looking to win the region in duels, which is a type of wrestling section. So there'll be a lot of great opportunities for some young guys to come up and make an impact for the Cats this wrestling season. So now we finished Westminster sports. Let's go over to pro sports. Alex, you want to talk to us a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons and how they're in first place in the NFC South?
The Atlanta Falcons, out of the blue, first place in the NFC South, and I have no clue how and or why, but are we complaining? No. All right, they won 37-34 over the Carolina Panthers. It was an ugly one, and I'm not going to lie, we should have lost. But luckily, DJ Moore wasn't aware that you can't take your helmet off after the play and celebrate. So they got pushed back, and normal PAT was pushed back to 48 yards, and the kicker missed it. And then again in overtime, I think it was Eddie Pinheiro.
Yep.
He missed a 32-yard chip shot, gave the Falcons a chance to win, and they did. Marcus Mariota, the first time this year that we've seen him really do this, 253 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 interceptions, which isn't too good, but still, that production we like to see from Mariota. I mean, we haven't seen that yet this year, and it's great to see. He also had 43 rushing yards. It was a great game. Caleb Huntley had 91 rushing yards as well. It was a great game. He spread the ball around to everyone. I think, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different people got to catch the ball. 4 different ran it. I mean, we had a great game.
Mm-hmm. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we haven't really seen that much offensive production from Kyle Pitts this year. And Kyle Pitts, you could arguably say, had the best game of his career with a receiving touchdown and a few yards.
Is that his first receiving touchdown in
No, it's the second.
United States?
I believe he had one last week. Yes. Okay. That last week was his first one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts' fantasy owners haven't been too happy recently.
But the 19 fantasy points this week should make them feel a little better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Panthers
Consolation
would
prize.
really want to have Josh Brockman right now, obviously. You know, he's better than Eddie Pinheiro, I guess.
Yep. The Panthers need Brockman. Sign him up. Over to college football. Let's hit that up real
Let's
quick.
hit up NBA while we're still
Yeah,
on
let's-
pros.
let's get it.
NBA
Atlanta
sounds good.
Hawks started off their season about a week ago. They're currently 4-3. You know, they've had a great backcourt pairing between Trae Young as well as DeJounte Murray, and even guys like Clint Capella and what's that rookie?
DeAndre Hunter.
Well, DeAndre Hunter
Jalen Johnson.
got a contract extension. That's been great to see. He's been playing well, and you know, they're currently doing really well. But AP poll's better.
And then on to a little bit about the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a very interesting team, especially with LeBron James. They started out 0-4, which is kind of wild thinking about the big
Now
stars
1-5
that they have on their team.
But I mean,
1-5,
Warriors are 3-5, so
yeah, it's been a little bit of an awkward start.
it's a long season.
It is a long season.
Not as long
is
as
correct.
baseball, though.
Yeah. College football, I know a lot of people differentiate between their standings between the AP poll and
AP
the
poll
college
is
football
better.
playoff. In the AP poll, Georgia is number 1,
Yep.
and Ohio State's 2. And
No, Tennessee's 2.
Tennessee, they're tied for 2. Ohio State
yeah,
and
yeah,
Tennessee are tied for 2. But a lot of people are talking about the college football playoff because if the season ended today, Georgia would not be number 1. So right now the rankings are Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson. So if the playoffs ended today, there would be 2 SEC teams and 2 ACC teams. And one
ACC.
ACC, 1 Big Ten.
Yes.
And going over Tennessee, and talked about it a little bit earlier, they had a very easy game. They
they're
won
looking scary.
44-6 over the Kentucky Wildcats. Hendon Hooker, only
Heisman.
245 passing yards, 3 touchdowns though, played perfectly. Looking at their offense, Jalen Hyatt again had another massive game, 138 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. It doesn't look like any team can figure out how to stop them. Also, number 4 Michigan, they let's see.
Talk about Blake Corum. He's a dark horse for Heisman. You know, he's been just carrying the ball every play, it seems like, for Michigan and just getting it done. I'd never heard of his name till this year, but he has been electric.
He, last game, had more rushing yards than their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, had passing, which is incredible. J.J. McCarthy had 167 with 1 passing touchdown, and Blake Corum, 177 with 1 touchdown. And he also averaged 5.4 yards per carry, which is incredible.
Speaking about Heisman candidates, going back to Jalen Hyatt on Tennessee, he has 45 receptions for 907 yards and 14 touchdowns. They've only played 8 games. He almost has 2 touchdowns per game, and his average reception is 20.2 yards.
And if you look at his stats compared to Devonta Smith, who is the last wide receiver to win Heisman, Jalen Hyatt's beating him in everything other than completions, but still, less completions, he still has more yards.
And receptions will probably go up till when the season ends, too.
Maybe.
Because the receptions, he's only played 8 games, right?
No, but it was through this 8 games.
Oh,
How many games?
Yeah. Okay.
Also, talking about that the college playoff poll, there's no reason why Clemson should be ahead of Michigan. Clemson almost lost to Wake. I feel like they almost lost to Syracuse, maybe? No, they almost
They
lost
almost
to
did,
Syracuse.
but I think you're just like that kind of, because they're one of the, you could say, blue bloods.
But they
of
weren't
college
last
football.
year.
No, I'm saying just in the
right?
past. I feel like they have that kind of.
I think so is Michigan's kind of a blue blood.
No, I feel like in recent years though, Clemson's kind of been that big team. I feel like we saw a bunch of like Clemson, Alabama,
Yeah.
championships like.
At this point, that was the most recent one was what? 2018, 2019?
Yeah,
So
but I
that's
think
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I
and
think
that's-
Clemson kind of has that favoritism when it comes to the AP polls, but I feel like it will shift around, especially with these upcoming
Yeah,
games.
also, Clemson hasn't faced too many dominant opponents while
They
we're
never
looking at it.
do. We're in the
They have
ACC.
faced a ranked team. It's been a close game. Like there hasn't been. They haven't really, shown out. Like especially at NC State.
They almost even lost to Florida State. Like, there's no reason why they should be that high.
Yeah, that's definitely agreeable.
Also, talking about the Georgia Bulldogs, Stetson Bennett had another good game, 316 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Again, not too good. But honestly, that game kind of looks like Mariota's.
A little bit, yeah.
Brock Bowers, of course, he had a great game, 154 receiving yards. That dude is a stud.
I got him on my fantasy team, college football fantasy.
He is
carrying.
He is such a great player.
He could definitely be a first-round draft pick.
Bro,
I
he
think
will be.
He's definitely looking up there, and then he could even be possibly a top 10 depending on the team's needs. But I think I've seen a few people having him up in the top 10. But have we seen that miraculous catch? It was tipped around, I think, 5 or 6 times. He turned around, and it was in his hands, and took it to the house for like a 75-yard touchdown.
What's also crazy about him is he's a tight end. Yeah. He's listed as a tight end.
He is.
But he has all the skills of a receiver, and he gets the stats like 1-2. It's crazy what he can be able to do.
blocking
he's a
ability,
sophomore.
too.
Is he not draft eligible?
No, he has 1 more year.
He's 1 more year.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna get drafted this year.
And I don't think he'll go top 10. I feel like last time we saw, I guess, Kyle Pitts and TJ Hawkinson, and both of them so far, obviously, career still young. Hawkinson got traded yesterday, but they haven't panned out for what you expect when putting a top 10 pick into a player.
I think T.J. Hawkinson's shown shades of this year of being that kind of top 10 pick.
Compared to, you see guys like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews,
I agree.
all
But
the George Kittle, all the Darren Waller was undrafted. All the great tight ends in the league are late draft picks. Obviously, tight ends take longer to develop than other players, but I just don't see the value in putting a pick that high in one.
This is my honest opinion. I think that every football team, they try and get that big tight end like that Patriots got with Gronk, and they just try and repeat what they had, that incredible Rob Gronkowski.
Yep, Rob Gronkowski.
And so every team's been trying to be able to refine that, rekindle it, like Travis Kelce. I'm not sure what round he was drafted in.
Third, I want to say.
But yeah, I mean, so far every single like big tight end that we have in the league,
Third round, yep.
yeah, they're not drafted too high.
Last thing, this weekend, probably biggest college football game of
the
the
year.
regular season until we get into conference championships. Georgia, Tennessee in Athens.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy
Gonna be a
atmosphere.
fun game.
Yeah.
3:30. Everyone will be going there. The tickets, I think the cheapest ones are like $600.
They're like $700 with fees.
They're crazy.
It's wild. I don't know how anyone would afford to go to that game unless they have season tickets.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
That's incredible.
That's crazy. This is a special episode. We had great interviews with Palmer Walston and Joseph Jaco. I know I had a great time. Hope you guys all had the same.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to interview them. They're great runners. I'm really excited for what they do in the future with Palmer going to Wake Forest, and let's see what the Jacos are able to do.
Yeah.
Go cheer them on at State Saturday at Carrollton Lower School.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
and that's all from us here. Thank you for watching. If you want to see some other interviews, go watch the other 5 episodes, and that's all from us. See you, and have a good day.
See you.